Hello and welcome to my tiny corner of the internet. Today I'd like to discuss how Andy Signore and Colleen Ballinger are very similar. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I had no idea who Colleen Ballinger, also known as Miranda Sings, even was. Usually, unless Swoop does a documentary, I don't know or care about what family vloggers, the beauty community, and or the drama commentary channels are doing on YouTube. However, Colleen's exploits have set off a variety of content creators, so I started tuning in. Now, Andy is the host of the Popcorn Planet YouTube channel, who is supposedly serving quote-unquote pop culture justice. And no, it's not an actual thing. He can be engaging and charismatic until you get a peek beneath his mask. Then you see what a charlatan he is, and how much sexual innuendo is sprinkled throughout his live streams videos, which gives an indication as to his character, or lack thereof. From his coverage of Britney Spears and Gabby Petito, he started gaining a following of youngish/middle-aged women, many of whom have been abused in a variety of ways. A veritable smorgasbord for a creepy pervert. Allegedly, in my opinion. Colleen Ballinger is a children's entertainer using a character called Miranda Sings. She's found quite a bit of success and a following of approximately pre-teenage kids. She makes herself available via Discord and engages in private chat groups with select young people. These kids are big fans and are excited to talk to her. Her shows in themselves are problematic enough, again liberally sprinkled with sexual innuendo, but she seems to take it many, many steps too far. A former fan, Adam McIntyre, spoke out in 2020 and was practically run off the internet by Colleen and her cohort/fans. Now others are speaking up, and it looks like a reckoning will be happening as soon as she quits ignoring the situation. So, as I said before, what strikes me are the similarities between Colleen Ballinger's and Andy Signore's antics. So here is a list. 15. List of 15 things. So, secret chats? Check. Focusing on vulnerable people? Check. Rallying community attack dogs? Check. Forcing silence? Check. Co-host/audience that covers/excuses horrid behavior? Check. Taking advantage of a power imbalance? Check. Confession through projection and or Darvo? Check. What does Darvo mean? Darvo refers to a reaction perpetrators of wrongdoing, particularly sexual offenders, may display in response to being held accountable for their behavior. DARVO stands for Deny, Attack, and Reverse Victim and Offender. Alright. Number 8. Ownership of people, but not of their own behavior. Check. Overinflated egos in the sense of entitlement. Check. Lack of self-awareness or self-reflection. Check. Victim blaming. Check. Completely ignores the idea of consent. Check. Gets others to spy/do their dirty work. Check. Being shady about charity donations. Check. And liberal use of sexual innuendos. Check. Now, I'm the mom of one young adult son, who, thank God, was never a Miranda Sings fan. He didn't even know who she was, because I asked. Now, I find Colleen's behavior just about as abhorrent as I find Andy's. The irony well, he did a stream about this situation, which I found incredibly ironic. And I believe it shows how non self aware he is. Now, like I say in my article, to be fair, I have not subjected myself to his take on this situation, but the whole idea just oozes of hypocrisy, in my opinion. Both focus on a specific audience. Colleen's being arguably more problematic than Andy's. However, both use their power imbalance to target vulnerable people. I have a hard time with that word, vulnerable. It seems that Colleen has been inappropriate with children for years, while Andy prefers damaged women. Both are populations that should be protected at all costs, and the average person does, but not these two. They build up their victims, also known as love bombing, via secret chats/private chats in order to take advantage of them. From the above linked article, for the love bombing there, from the Cleveland Clinic. So what is love bombing? Love bombing is a form of psychological and emotional abuse that involves a person going above and beyond for you in an effort to manipulate you into a relationship with them. It looks different for every person, but it usually involves some form of excessive flattery and praise. If victims fight back, they are berated and belittled. Both tend to send friends/community members after these victims while pretending ignorance and or innocence. More from the Cleveland Clinic. Love bombing is usually driven by a person's insecurities, inability to trust, and dependence on other people. Although anyone can do it, love bombing is most often associated with people who have an anxious or insecure attachment style or narcissistic personality disorder. People can also pick up on this behavior by learning it from their parents or from past abusive relationships. It can also be a side effect of unresolved childhood trauma, though this isn't always the case. If you turn down advances from a person who's love bombing you, or they feel you're not responding to their needs, they might threaten or berate you. They want that constant reassurance that they're loved and worthy, and this stems from their underlying insecurities. Now, if these two, Colleen and Andy, do indeed suffer from some sort of mental defect, they need help. That does not mean that I don't find both reprehensible. They are both grown-ass adults with plenty of evidence in front of them to realize something ain't right. And the fact that Colleen is being called out by some bigger content creators gives me hope that the same will one day happen with Andy.